Have you ever stopped to think, what if the heartbreaks, the failures, and even those moments of silent suffering weren't meaningless? What if they were threads in a much larger tapestry, one woven with intention, not accident? In Buddhist philosophy, there's a profound belief: nothing in your life is random, not a single tear, not a single disappointment. Even your worst days carry a lesson quietly waiting beneath the surface. The Buddha once warned us, it is not your enemies, but your unguarded mind that does the deepest damage. It makes you wonder, why does life hurt the way it does? Why do we seem to fall into the same emotional traps over and over again? But more importantly, how do we break free? In this video, we'll uncover a truth that most people never realize. And once you understand it, something shifts. Pain begins to look different. If there's one insight to walk away with today, let it be this: grasping the meaning behind your struggles is the first real step toward peace. Stick around till the end. There's a powerful insight waiting that brings it all full circle. Number 1. Why pain isn't punishment. What if I told you pain isn't here to punish you, but to awaken you? That life isn't against you, but trying in its own mysterious way to lead you somewhere deeper. You see, we spend so much time asking, why is this happening to me? But rarely do we ask the more important question, what is this trying to teach me? Pain feels like betrayal, like the world has turned its back on you. But in Buddhism, pain is not your enemy. It's the flame that burns away illusion. Illusions about control, about permanence, about the belief that things should always go our way. And when those illusions are gone, something deeper begins to rise. To understand everything is to forgive everything. These words speak to a truth many ignore. If you could truly see why something happened, every cause, every effect, you would stop fighting life. You would stop blaming yourself. You would forgive, not just others, but yourself too. There's a story of a monk who was betrayed by his closest friend. Years of trust shattered overnight. Instead of reacting with anger, he sat in silence for days. People thought he was broken, but when he finally spoke, he said, "The pain didn't destroy me. It revealed the parts of me still clinging to false safety." That's the gift of suffering, its ability to expose, to strip you down, not out of cruelty, but clarity. Pain is the teacher you never invited, but the one you needed all along. Still, we resist, we numb, we distract ourselves with noise. But what if, just for once, you paused, sat with the ache, breathed into the discomfort, named the emotion instead of burying it? What would happen? Ask yourself, what is this pain trying to awaken in me? Because it's not random. It's a message. Maybe it's asking you to set a boundary, to let go, to return home to yourself. We mistake pain for punishment, but more often than not, it's protection, a redirection. Maybe this heartbreak saved you from a lifetime of self-abandonment. Maybe that failure rooted you to your true purpose. In Buddhist practice, pain is not something to eliminate. It's something to understand. Because once you understand it, you stop fearing it. You stop clinging. You let go. And in that letting go, life finally stops hurting. So next time you feel broken, ask, could this pain be protecting me from something far worse? The answer might not come quickly, but it will come. And when it does, you'll realize you weren't being punished. You were being prepared. Surrender to life's flow and trust its unfolding. Your pain has purpose. It's polishing the edges of your soul. Now ask yourself, is this helping me grow or keeping me stuck? Because the moment you understand why everything happens, life no longer hurts you. It transforms you. 2. Trust the journey, even when you don't understand it. There are moments when life offers no answers, only silence. The kind that feels endless. No direction, no signs, just a thick fog that refuses to lift. And in that stillness, anxiety creeps in. Why is this happening? What do I do now? Where am I even going? We crave certainty, some kind of roadmap to make sense of it all. But in Buddhist wisdom, there's a quiet truth. You don't need to see the whole path to begin walking it. Just the next step is enough. The Buddha once said, "Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment." These aren't just comforting words. They're a practice, a grounding force. Because real transformation doesn't come from knowing the destination. It comes from showing up fully where you are, even when the moment makes no sense, especially then. There's an old tale of a man who wandered into a dense forest with no guidance, only darkness around him. He could barely see past his feet. Yet with each small step forward, more of the path emerged. Eventually, the forest gave way to an open valley, quiet and peaceful. He didn't find that place by knowing where he was going. He found it by continuing on, step by step, with faith in the unseen. Life often works the same way. What looks like disorder may just be a higher order you're not yet ready to perceive. That delay you resent might actually be perfect timing. That door that's shut in your face might be pointing you to something far better, but not yet visible. And the harder you grip for answers, the more elusive peace becomes. Buddhism teaches surrender not as defeat, but as wisdom. It's the art of loosening your grip on control and allowing life to unfold in its own rhythm. Maybe the confusion you feel isn't a problem to fix, but a clearing being made for something more aligned, more expansive than you imagined. Rather than chasing explanations, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is sit still, breathe, and simply let go of the need to understand. Every moment, even the messy and painful ones, carries a quiet instruction. The question is, can you stay open, even when nothing makes sense? That's a deeper kind of strength, not in solving the mystery, but in trusting that the mystery itself is working for you. Even detours have their own kind of wisdom. Even silence has something sacred hidden inside it. You're not meant to have all the answers right now, and that's not failure. That's how the journey is meant to be. And when you accept that, the world begins to shift. You start noticing small nudges, the right phrase at the perfect time, the breath that steadies you, the flicker of calm in the middle of uncertainty. The road ahead isn't revealed all at once. It appears as you walk it. So take the step that's in front of you. Trust the process, even if you can't see the end. Let this moment be enough. Because it's not just where you are, it's where everything begins. You don't need the full map, just the courage to move forward in the dark, trusting that the light will meet you there. 3. When you stop asking, why me? There comes a point in every difficult season where the question slips out, softly or in anguish. Why me? It's the voice of fatigue, of feeling wronged by life, of a soul that's been stretched too thin. But what if that very question is what's keeping you stuck? What if the pain you're facing isn't an attack, but an invitation? Buddhism offers a profound shift. While the rain may fall on every rooftop, it's what you do with it that changes your life. You can curse the storm, or you can grow something from it. The ego insists life is happening to you, but awareness asks a different question. What is life asking of me right now? That's the beginning of true transformation, not in blame, but in presence and curiosity. It's not the adversity itself that defines your path, but how you meet it. Some collapse under pressure, while others rise, not because their burdens were lighter, but because they turned inward instead of outward, looking not for someone to fault, but for something to learn. You are not what happened to you. You are who you choose to become because of it. There's a story of a young woman who lost everything she thought made her who she was: her job, her partner, her sense of direction. For months she was lost in the fog of, why me? Until one day, sitting quietly, a new question emerged. What is life trying to build in me now? That one shift in perspective didn't bring instant clarity, but it opened a door. she started creating again, reaching out, planting the first seeds of a life rooted not in the past, but in presence. When we stop resisting the storm and begin to observe it, something powerful unfolds. We stop being the pain and begin learning from it. Buddhism doesn't offer an escape from suffering. It offers a new relationship with it. One where pain isn't punishment, but process. Not a setback, but a signpost. What if this discomfort is the soul's way of guiding you, of revealing a deeper strength, a more authentic path, a version of yourself that only challenge could reach? Suffering doesn't isolate, it connects. It softens you into compassion and binds you to the quiet strength of others who've walked through the fire too. Ask yourself, what is this struggle teaching me that ease never could? Because sometimes the greatest gifts come wrapped in uncertainty. Sometimes the real blessing isn't in what changes outside, but in what awakens within. Can you trust the lesson, even if you don't yet understand the message? The moment you stop asking why me is the moment you stop resisting life, and that's when you begin to co-create with it. Pain starts to feel meaningful. Scars turn into symbols of growth. Your story becomes your strength. You weren't being punished. You were being prepared. There's a quiet transformation that happens when resistance falls away. Not because the suffering ends, but because your fight against it does. What if this storm isn't here to destroy you, but to clear the space for something new? Every setback, every tear, every broken plan, it's not taking something from you. It's shaping something within you, preparing you for a version of yourself that you haven't yet met. So when you feel buried in doubt or confusion, ask, what strength is being built in me right now? Maybe it's patience. Maybe it's the courage to set a boundary. Maybe it's the ability to feel deeply without running away. Don't curse the mud. Bless it. It's not your enemy. It's the soil from which you rise. And when everything feels heavy, remember, the lotus doesn't resist the mud. It rises through it. You're in the middle of becoming, and while that's never easy, it's always sacred. Don't give up now. The deeper the struggle, the brighter the bloom. You're not being buried, you're being planted. 4. Why meaning isn't found, it's made. We spend so much of our lives chasing meaning, as if it's a hidden treasure waiting to be uncovered in the perfect job, the right relationship, or some life-changing moment. But what if meaning isn't something you stumble upon? What if it's something you create, not all at once, but slowly, in the quiet rhythm of your daily choices? Buddhism holds a timeless truth. Your role isn't to find life's meaning, but to shape it, to live it, and to give yourself to it wholeheartedly. Imagine meaning as a garden. No one finds a lush, blooming garden by accident. It takes intention, patience, and care. The same goes for your life. Meaning isn't lurking somewhere in the future. It's being shaped right here, in the way you speak kindly to others, in how you keep going when no one's watching, in how you respond to your own pain with softness rather than spite. Even if your days feel routine, wake up, work, eat, sleep. Each moment holds sacred potential when seen through mindful eyes. Washing a dish can be a spiritual act. Listening to a friend can be a form of love. Breathing deeply in a moment of stress becomes a declaration. I am here. I am aware. These are not grand gestures. They are simple acts, elevated by your attention. There's a tale of a monk who spent years sweeping temple floors. When asked if he ever tired of such repetition, he smiled and replied, I don't sweep for the temple. I sweep to clear my mind. What others saw as dull, he saw as a path. That's the essence of mindfulness, turning the ordinary into something extraordinary simply by being fully present. Meaning isn't given to you. It's woven into life through your awareness. Too often, we wait for a bolt of clarity, for passion to knock on our door, for life to hand us a purpose. But Buddhism doesn't teach you to wait. It teaches you to engage, to meet each moment with openness, and to let the sacredness emerge from how you show up. Your presence is what makes a moment meaningful, not the other way around. And when life breaks you open, and it will, you're given a choice. You can use your pain as an excuse to shut down, or you can let it fuel a deeper connection with yourself, with others, and with the fleeting beauty of this human life. Ask yourself, what story am I telling through this struggle? Am I cultivating bitterness, or am I nurturing compassion? Am I using this pain to distance myself from life, or to dive deeper into it? Meaning isn't waiting for you out there. It's being built right now in how you live, how you love, how you grow. You are the one planting seeds. Even if life gives you rocky, stubborn soil, you still hold the power to grow something true. Stop waiting for meaning to arrive like a gift. Choose to bring it to life in every interaction, every breath, every choice. In the end, life won't be measured by what it gave you, but by what you gave back, fully and with love. 5. Why acceptance is the beginning of freedom. There comes a kind of exhaustion that sleep can't fix, a weariness that sits in your bones, born not from doing too much, but from holding on too tightly. Holding on to what you thought should happen, who someone should have been, or where you believe your life was supposed to go. You've tried to steer life like a stubborn ship, forcing it into your version of the right direction. But what if the real struggle isn't with life itself, but with your refusal to let it be? Buddhism reminds us that pain is a part of life, but suffering is born from resistance to that pain. The deeper wound isn't in what happened, it's in your grip on how you think it shouldn't have happened. Picture yourself in a wide, flowing river. You're not drowning, but you're not moving either, because you're clinging to a rock in the middle of the current. You're stuck, straining, resisting the pull. Not because the river is dangerous, but because you don't trust where it's going. Acceptance is the moment you let go. Not because you've given up, but because you've decided to trust the flow more than your fear. That's not defeat. That's the beginning of peace. Acceptance doesn't mean you agree with everything that happens. It means you stop spending all your energy wishing it were different. It's the quiet decision to stop being at war with reality, to stop trying to rewrite what is. Ask yourself, what are you still resisting? A loss that you haven't named, a truth about yourself you've been avoiding, a chapter that ended before you were ready. Resistance holds pain in place, but acceptance allows it to move through you, like a storm that finally passes when you stop trying to hold back the clouds. In Buddhist teachings, freedom doesn't come from changing the world. It comes from changing your relationship with the world. When you meet life with softness instead of struggle, something shifts. The tension eases. The story in your head starts to quiet. You begin to listen, not just to what's happening, but to what it's teaching you. There's an old tale of a man who went to a Zen master, crushed by grief. "How do I escape this sorrow?" he asked. The master said, "Don't escape it. Let it speak." That confused him. Wasn't healing supposed to be about moving on? But as he allowed the pain to simply exist, without trying to fix it, he began to feel lighter. Not happy, just honest. Not healed, but whole. That's the quiet miracle of acceptance. It doesn't erase the pain. It transforms your experience of it. So ask yourself, where am I still resisting what's already true? What might happen if I release the need to control, to explain, to force? You may find that the very peace you've been chasing isn't in solving the problem. It's in releasing your battle with it. Acceptance doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you start caring differently, with clarity, with compassion, with courage. The moment you let go of the struggle, the river carries you forward. Not away from your life, but deeper into it. Let go, not because you're giving in, but because you're finally waking up. This moment, exactly as it is, holds everything you need to begin again. Freedom isn't found in perfection. It begins the moment you stop resisting what is. 6. You don't need to understand. You just need to wake up. We waste so much energy trying to decode life like it's some secret formula. We chase reasons. We hunt for meaning. We ask, why did this happen to me? as if the answers will bring peace. But here's the truth. Life isn't a problem to solve. It's a mystery to embrace. You don't have to understand everything to live fully. You don't need to decode the past to grow. Awakening isn't about having the answers. It's about opening your eyes. It's about remembering what you already are underneath all the noise. Imagine this. A flame doesn't analyze its own fire. It doesn't need to know where the spark came from to burn bright. And you don't need to have life figured out to shine. The mind is addicted to certainty. It wants reasons, plans, definitions. But the soul wants presence. The soul whispers, "Be here." And when you listen, everything starts to shift. There's a quiet strength in not knowing. Real growth doesn't always come with explanations. Sometimes it comes in silence. In those strange, still moments when you're not sure where you're going, but you're fully here. That's where the awakening happens. Not in some grand realization, but in the everyday act of surrender. Call it beginner's mind, call it presence, call it wisdom. But it all leads to the same place, peace. Not the kind you find when everything makes sense, but the kind you discover when you stop needing it to. There's an old story. A student asked his master, "What is enlightenment?" The master said, "When you're hungry, eat. When you're tired, sleep. That's it. No mystery, no riddle. Just be here. Be real. Stop overthinking your way through life." Closure? Sometimes that's just a fantasy. Answers? Sometimes they never come, but maybe they don't have to. Maybe peace isn't found in the final word, but in the quiet decision to keep living, loving, and breathing in the midst of the unknown. So ask yourself this: can I make room for mystery? Can I stop chasing explanations and start chasing presence? Because you don't need to understand the fire to be the light. You just need to stay lit, and in doing so, you might just ignite the people around you without even trying. 7. Every loss is preparing you for something greater. When we lose something, someone we loved, a dream we chased, a version of ourselves we believed in, it's easy to feel like life has robbed us. Like the universe shut a door without explanation. But maybe loss isn't the end of the story. Maybe it's the clearing before the growth. Think of a tree in autumn. It lets go of every leaf, not because it's broken, but because it's wise. It knows that release is survival. It knows that in shedding, it makes space for deeper roots. You're no different. That job, that plan, that relationship, it had its season. It served you, shaped you, taught you. But when its time is up, holding on doesn't protect you. It just keeps your hands too full to receive what's next. Let go or be dragged. 5 words that carry the weight of a lifetime's wisdom. Letting go isn't giving up. It's leveling up. It's choosing freedom over fear. It's trusting that life doesn't take without offering something in return, even if that offering comes disguised as emptiness. Loss doesn't always feel like a gift, but often it is a redirection, a hidden course correction. The door that closed might have led you further from your truth, and the ache you feel, that's the space being made for something more aligned, more real. Breathe. Watch how even your breath is a lesson in surrender. Inhale, receive. Exhale, release. You don't hold your breath forever. Why hold on to anything else longer than it's time? Letting go isn't forgetting. It's honoring. It's saying, "Thank you for what you gave me. I no longer need to carry you to become who I am meant to be." And yes, the grief is real, but so is the growth that follows it. Sometimes, the only way to bloom is by breaking open. The heartbreak, the rejection, the failure, they're not the finish line. They're the soil. And in that soil, something new can take root. So ask yourself, what am I being asked to release so something greater can grow? Don't just ask it once. Ask it until the question itself becomes your peace. Because you'll realize the space you fear is not emptiness, it's preparation. It's your next chapter clearing its throat, waiting for your permission to begin. When you stop clutching what's no longer yours, you start receiving what was always meant for you. Not what you chased, not what you lost sleep over, but what truly fits who you're becoming. Let it fall away. Let it hurt. Let it heal. Because loss isn't a punishment. It's an invitation to root deeper, to rise stronger, and to finally bloom into your becoming. Bonus lesson. Every moment holds a message. Life doesn't always shout its wisdom. More often, it whispers through discomfort, silence, or the quiet rhythm of your daily routine. And yet, every single moment you live is offering you something. Not punishment, not coincidence, but instruction, a chance to grow if you're willing to pay attention. Some days, the weight of life feels relentless. You look around and wonder, why this? Why now? But what if the better question is, what is this trying to teach me? Every challenge, every delay, every awkward silence, they're not just random. They're teachers in disguise. The world isn't against you. It's trying to shape you. And the more you resist the lesson, the longer you stay in the struggle. You don't have to wait for lightning to strike to wake up. Insight doesn't always arrive with fireworks. It slips into your life in the smallest of moments. The glance of a stranger, the hesitation before a decision, the frustration in traffic, the tear you weren't expecting. What if today's struggle is the exact pressure you need to uncover your strength? What if the thing you're avoiding is the doorway to clarity? Each day is a classroom. Each moment is a mirror. It reflects not just what's happening around you, but what's happening within you. That annoying situation. Maybe it's revealing your patience. That disappointment. Maybe it's refining your expectations. That quiet morning. Maybe it's showing you what peace really feels like. You don't need to wait for the right time to grow. The time is now. Not tomorrow. Not after the storm clears. Now you see, life doesn't hand you a syllabus. It hands you a heartbeat, a breath, and a choice. Will you learn from what's in front of you, or will you miss the message waiting in the moment? Ask yourself this. What is this moment calling me to become? Stop seeking grand revelations. Start honoring the ordinary. Because buried inside what seems simple is often the greatest wisdom. Life is not just happening to you, it's happening for you. You are not just surviving it, you are being sculpted by it. The mess, the magic, the monotony, it's all part of your evolution. So don't run from this moment. Don't numb it. Don't dismiss it. Instead, step into it fully. Listen, learn, grow. Because this moment, right here, right now, is your teacher. And if you're willing to learn, it just might change everything. If this message spoke to something deep within you, share it. Let others feel it too. Drop your reflections in the comments. We'd love to hear your voice.